The idea of a nonpartisan race when it comes to something like the Anchorage School Board, an idea is great. Because when it comes to the education of our children, it shouldn't be something that's Democrat or Republican. It should just be high quality education. It should just be accountability. It should just be results. It should just be a symbiotic relationship between the community and the, the sitting legislators or the Anchorage School Board in this example. But it can't be missed the fact that 6 out of 7 of our board members have an association with the Democratic Party, the National Education Association, and their sitting school board members. So we're going to talk about the hazards of that. Let's dive into it. So when it comes to the Democrat Party and the National Education Association, you'll see that they have had a long-standing relationships, giving each other millions of dollars, and the NEA 98% of the time endorsing Democratic candidates. So there's nothing wrong with the idea of creating political action committees, and those political action committees donating to campaigns or to candidates who fall into their purview of what they would like to see. It happens all the time. This is politics in Anchorage, right? The thing is, when something as large as the National Education Association, whom the Anchorage School Board is bargaining with in order to figure out teacher salaries, in order to figure out class times and whatnot, you would think that there should be quite the distance in relationship. But here in Anchorage, it's not the case. Here we have where you will find any report that you're looking for. It's called the APOC online report. So if you're looking for individual campaigns, then you would want to go to campaign disclosure, and then you want to look at campaign disclosure reports. At this point we'll do income, and then you'll search from there. Candidate name, as you can see, you just type it in there over here, or you go to report year and pick whichever year. So we're gonna, oh yeah, first I'll show you this. This is the NEA and how much they're usually giving to either Democratic candidates or Republican candidates. So 97.43. So even if I round it up, that is not 98. So I'll resend that. 97%. When it comes to federal candidates, it's 98%. There you go. And the source of funds are political action committees and individuals. All right. So let's first focus on a different candidate. So this one is Pat Higgins. We're going to just look for any NEA or Democrat associations. As you can see here, it's a disclosure form, and we see NEA Alaska. Okay. Now, like we said, we're not saying anything is illegal here. We're just showing you these associations. So there's the NEA. Actually, let's try to control find this. Find on page. All right. And we'll just look up Democrats. Oh, look, the Anchorage Democrats also donated as well. And let's see. Catherine Pfeiffer was the campaign manager. So another thing is, how are they receiving these funds? I mean, there is a chance that they are receiving it directly from the associations, as in, as a politician, they request endorsements via email to us, or if you know someone, they'll make that connection. But if we look at the campaign manager and decide to look her up, we'll see that she has served on the executive committee of the Alaska Democrat Party in the capacity of executive secretary. So that could definitely be a way that, in this case, the board member, Pat Higgins, has received funds. So that's the liaison at times in between the candidate and the donation, is their campaign manager or their campaign company's affiliation. Here in Anchorage, when it comes to the Democrats, we have the Ship Creek Group, which works with candidates, but then you also have managers like, in this case, the Catherine Pfeiffers, the Eric Gundersons, and so on and so forth. Campaign managers who step up and either have affiliations with the Democratic Party and or affiliations with the Ship Creek Group, or I want to say that's it. Yeah, they're campaign managers. All right, so that's one board member. Now we're going to go to Kelly Lessons here. And so as you see up here, it's called a campaign disclosure form, but you see an amendment. Big thing is at times when files are being filed, i.e. the reports, an amendment is often used in times where there is either a misprint or candidate finds out something that should have been reported and then they put it on there. And so this is the case oftentimes. So not only will you see reports, but you also see amendments. And so there's an amendment here. Once again, we will do the find option. And we're just looking for these similar associations. And I'm gonna leave you with homework so you can look it up yourself. But when it comes to NEA here, we see a UniServe director for NEA, all right. But then you see the actual political action committee giving a donation to Kelly Lessons. And then you also see the executive director giving donation. And then you also see an educator, so forth. And so there's the NEA association. Now let's see if we can find a Democrat one. It isn't on here. And so there's multiple reports filed. And so let's go to the next report and once again try to find. Because the thing is, what we're seeing are these, oh, there you go, it pops up first. So the Political Action Committee from the Anchorage Democrats donated to this campaign as well. Now, as you can see, when the NEA and the Democrat Party are being involved in, like I said, 6 out of 7, and I'm leaving you with homework on this, then you see how it can create somewhat of a tumultuous relationship. It's tumultuous because there is indeed an outside influence, and as a voter in a community, we have to think critically here. Are the initiatives of these groups being pushed upon us, which is giving us our current result, our current financial deficit, our current lack of proficiency across grades? There's a chance. I leave all of this information for you so that you can make an educated decision. Check on the outside interests and the values thereof and see if they align with you. Consider the idea that if the community input is not being heard and they also contrast, then there's a chance that outside interests are the ones that are actually pushing policy and legislation here in our city. I just want to take the time. Thank you so much for watching these videos. April 1st is a day that may live in history if you decide to come out and vote. And when you do vote, make sure you vote Mark Anthony Cox for Anchorage School Board CP. Thank you so much for your time. Over here you can subscribe, and over here you can watch the next video.